What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. Watching my back, as always, you know him, you love him, El Flaco Explosivo, a.k.a. I'm almost going to say the Freddie Mercury puppet, but we all know that's the Alexis Arguello puppet. When he's on Pod Scum and has bigger teeth, then he's the Freddie Mercury puppet. But when he's watching my back on a boxing podcast, man, he is undoubtedly, without a doubt, unequivocally, the Alexis Arguello puppet. We're back with another banger of an episode. My guest is already here, so we're chopping it up immediately, getting down to it. Let's go. Brandon.
What's up, my man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm perfect.
Yeah, listen, man. Hey, first of all, a pleasure to meet you, man, and I appreciate you doing this, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Now, listen, man. Interesting about like your career, man. Because a lot of people would say at the age of 38, having the amount of fights that you have really makes you a young 38.
Hey, I believe. Hey, that's exactly what it is. It's kind of, like my thing is like my whole career. I've been boxing for I say 14 years now. I've been a pro. What 7 of those years? And it's like I don't take any damage. So like, as long as I'm keeping my body healthy and working out how I need to work out, and not drinking, not smoking, not doing none of that crazy stuff, hey, I can go as long as I look at Bernard Hopkins. What is 50, 51 when he finally lost
Archie Moore. Yeah. And so is that the plan? Because you've come along like so slowly, like do you figure, do you feel like at 38, like, is this your prime? Are you not yet to be in your prime?
I feel like I'm getting better and better pretty much every fight that I have.
That's so subjective anyway, man. Like a man's prime is so subjective, right? It kind of is,
right. Right. So, back in the days, they would say, oh, you in your prime at 24, 25, 26.
Right.
I mean, that's not today's day. Like the world is totally different. And then, tell you the truth, I don't even believe that was what it was back then. That was just say so. How could you say somebody's in their prime just based off their age? You know what I'm saying?
Right, because I feel like when you add that, man, like you might physically be in your prime, man, but you start putting it all together mentally when you get older.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I do feel like that's important in boxing, man, because it's very much a mental game as much as it is a physical game.
Now, you know what? When I first started boxing, and my coach told me was like, "Hey, it's 90% mental,
without a doubt,
physical." I ain't believed it until I got in there, stepped in the ring the first time in sport. I said, "You know what? He wasn't lying." Because it's more so you got to be like, you can be the strongest person in the world.
Right.
But it's kind of different because you got to kind of train your mind to be able to attack and go jump right back into defensive mode when you need to.
Right.
And vice versa.
And now when did it start for you? Now, like how early on in life did you get a pair of boxing gloves on?
To tell you the truth, I've been boxing my whole life. But when I finally stepped in the gym and took it serious, I was 23.
Okay. So a lot of people would say, that's a late start.
Yeah.
I
mean, it is for most, but you know what? My thing is like the people that started when they're 6, 7, 8 years old. A lot of them, by the time they go pro, they had 200, 300 amateur fights, and they got the skill set, they got the experience, all this type of stuff. But then their body broke down by the time they 5, 10 fights into the pros. So my thing is with me, my whole life I fought, boxed, did all this. So like I don't look at it as really a late start because it's something I always done. And then my thing is like I kind of preserved my body to the point where I'm at now is like, hey, I go in the ring and I ain't gonna say no names, but I've sparred with 25-year-olds, 21-year-olds, and it's like they can't keep up with me.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with me.
And now when you started boxing, like when you were younger, like was it a sport you thought you were that you were going to be on that path, and were you watching guys on TV, and you know how we have those sports idols when we're growing up? Were there boxers that you watched that you wanted to emulate or idolized?
You know what? When I grew up, just like every young kid that grew up around the time I grew up, we always looked up to like Muhammad Ali, the Mike Tysons, and all that. But like, I never was a real big Mike Tyson fan. I was always a Muhammad Ali fan.
Yeah.
Because I love pure boxing. And I'm telling you like this. Even Muhammad Ali even said himself, everything Muhammad Ali used to do was wrong.
Right.
I know that now being a boxer. Back then, I didn't understand what he was saying, but everything he did was wrong. So, like now that in today's day, like my favorite boxer right now is Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
But if you want me, if I'm gonna pick one boxer, period, it's gonna be Andre Ward. Like I love Andre Ward. Andre
Yeah.
Ward, Roy Jones, and
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford. Those like my three tops. Those who I study all the time.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, like growing up, yeah, I just looked at I just pretty much watched Ali fights, but they would always turn on Tyson fights because that was who was big back in the early '90s and all that type of stuff. So
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, absolutely. But I think Muhammad Ali gets mentioned on here, and I've done almost 180 episodes of this, and when I ask people their Mount Rushmore or like who the GOAT is of the sport, Muhammad Ali's name comes up, and it's not always so much for what he did in the ring, man, but for the guy that he was outside the ring too.
Outside the ring, that's exactly what it was.
It was
his character. It wasn't really his skill set. It was his character.
Right.
Who he was outside the ring. Muhammad Ali, before Muhammad Ali, you maybe had one or two black fighters that was able to talk stuff in and outside the ring and, not get killed or, crazy stuff like that. So, yeah, Muhammad Ali made it cool to stand up for yourself, made it cool to be in the ring talking and promoting yourself. So, that's what boxing is today.
And now what about
Floyd Mayweather if it wasn't Muhammad Ali?
And now what about the current sport right now? Like obviously like you're an active competitor, but from a fan standpoint, you mentioned Terrence Crawford, you mentioned Roy and Andre who have stepped away from the sport, but who are some guys right now that are currently doing it who like when they're fighting, man, you're locked in and you're going to tap in and watch what they do?
You know what? Like I tend to gravitate towards people that kind of have a style similar to mine. Which that's why Andre Ward is one of my favorite fighters because he's a defensive fighter, but he's he's actually an offensive fighter too at the same time.
Yeah,
but he's smart about it. But I'm gonna say like a lot of people don't like to watch Shakur. I love watching him.
Me too. Yeah,
I mean that's what the Sweet Science is all about: hitting and not getting hit.
Yeah.
So we got the
And I just had that conversation. I'm glad you're saying that, and I'm glad boxing fans who tune into this hear this, man, because I just had super featherweight Albert Prince Bell on yesterday, and he's another guy a lot like Shakur, man. He's 26-0, only 9 knockouts. You look at guys like him, you look at guys like Shakur, and you always think, this is not crowd pleasing. You know what I mean? This is not fan friendly. But those are the guys when they hang it up, though, that still got it all up here. You know what I mean? Those guys that don't take a lot of collateral damage. I know fans want to see, Gaddy Ward all the time, and they want to see blood and knockouts and knockdowns or whatever. But what Albert Bell said it best. That's not the sweet science, though. You know what I mean? It is. You hit it on the head. It's about hitting and not getting hit.
Right. It's not. My thing is like if I was always told, and which I knew this even going into the sport since I started a little later, I knew this going to the sport, like when I get done, we're entertaining, right?
Yeah.
So when we go in the ring, we plan on going home and spending time with our family because we just spent a 6 or 8 week training camp, in the gym, not really getting time with our family and all this type of stuff. So once we go into the ring to go fight, we plan on going home with our family. We don't want to go lay up in a hospital bed for a few days.
Absolutely.
Just to please the fans. Like, luckily, I have a style that I can kind of be smart and not get hit as much, but still entertain the fans to the point to where I don't get no boos and all that type of stuff. So like I'll say somebody like Steve Shakur. So of course, he's not gonna have a lot of knockouts, but it's not because he can't knock you out, but it's more so that he gonna beat you with sweet signs. Why put myself through hell if I can beat you without barely even sweating?
Yeah. And I mean, and those fans that might boo are not going to be around when he hangs up his gloves and he's in a wheelchair and can't feed himself, and take care of himself, Like those fans, you're entertaining those fans or whatever, man. And boxing is one of those rare sports too, like where there really is nothing set up for like once you hang the gloves up, you know what I mean? Like it really is difficult for fighters who fall on hard times afterwards. It is.
And that's what fans don't understand. You go back and look at like the Joe Frazier's, like like he one of the greatest boxers of all time. But you know what? When he died, he ain't have nothing. He ain't have nothing on nobody.
Yep.
So these fans, they want to see you go in there and knock each other out and kill each other. Rock'em sock'em robots is what I call it. But it's like once you laying up in the hospital bed, you need somebody to feed you some Jello. They're not gonna be there.
Right. And now. And now, since we're on the topic of this, it kind of goes hand in hand with. I want to get your opinion on some hot topical stuff in boxing right now. The WBA a couple weeks ago put out a thing. I don't know if you saw this or not, but they were flirting with the idea of possibly going back to 15 rounders. You know what I mean? Like, where do you stand on that?
I didn't agree with it then, even though it was way before my time, and I don't agree with it now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe my thing is like we got like you know I like 12 rounds. That's perfect. That's what we used to. But
Right.
like I wouldn't even mind if it went back to 10 rounds because it don't take you more than 10 rounds to showcase your skills.
It shouldn't. Right.
So like you take it down to 10 rounds, you'll have even like like the deaths in boxing ain't nothing like it was back when it was 15 rounds and all this other type of stuff. But you in 10 rounds, you should be able to showcase your skills. Do what you got to do with it. What's that? 30 minutes of fighting?
Yeah.
Like the normal street fight is what, 30 seconds? If
I know, right? I know.
So, like, 10, 12 rounds is perfect for me.
And now, where do you feel like, because you've been doing this for a while, and you are in a unique position, man, like where, like, as you said, your body hasn't taken a lot of collateral damage. Where do you feel like, your career is going, and like, what are your aspirations? You know what I mean? Like, i.e., most people I get on here, man, are in the hunt for a title. They're talking about world titles. They're calling out the top guys in their division. You know what I mean? Like, where do you stand? Like, you're currently campaigning at cruiserweight. You know what I mean? But having a record of 10-1 does not necessarily mean you're not in a title picture, because we are seeing guys competing for titles now, with a lot less fights than it used to be back in the day. You'd have to have 20, 30 fights sometimes, and then you get a title fight. Now we're seeing people like Keyshawn Davis gets a title, 12, 13 fights into his career. You know what I mean? Lomachenko fought for a title like 3 or 4 fights into his career. So, like, what are your aspirations right now at this stage of your career?
I'm the type of person, I kind of live day by day.
Yeah.
So, like everybody step in the box ring, they'll be lying to you if they say I wouldn't want no world title fight.
Right.
So, like, my thing is, like, I'm just I'm gonna take the next fight that's gonna take me farther and farther up the ladder. And as long as I'm moving up, I'm good with that fight. So like all the big money will come when it come, the title fights will come when it come. My thing is, give me the next person that's gonna move me up the ladder a little bit higher. So that's my thing. So like, of course, I want to have a world title fight one day. My last fight, which was November 24th, I actually fought for a regional Midwest cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
Which it's nowhere near a world title.
It's a step in the right direction.
It's a step.
Yeah.
It's a step. It's a step. And I fought a guy that was kind of a guy by the name of Demetrius Banks, which he fought a lot of top fighters, win, lose, and draw. He always give him a fight. He actually, before he fought me, just fought a guy that was like 10-0 that was a prospect for like Golden Boy. He knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah.
So, like I'm like my coaches didn't even want me to fight, but I said, you know what? Hey, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fight the best people out there. And this person, in the Midwest, let me fight him.
Right.
So let me fight him. Let me showcase. I fought him with a fractured rib. I still won a 5-1, which I could have went out there and knocked him out if I wanted to. But let's play it smart sometime. Yeah. Let's play it smart. So my thing is like, I do want a world title fight one day. Hopefully I'll be able to get a world title fight one day. But if I do or if I don't, it won't be the end all be all. Because I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna just continue to box and do this as long as I can, because I love to do it.
And so another polarizing topic, I know it brings eyes to the sport. There are purists who don't like what it does for the sport, but then there are people who do like that it brings eyes to the sport. But where do you stand on these Jake Paul events?
I knew you was going to ask me that question.
You a fan of him?
You know what? Actually, when I was 2-0 and Jake Paul was 2-0, we actually had contracts out there to fight each other. And now we're supposed to fight each other the night that he fought Nate Robinson, which was on it. What's that, Tyson Roy Jones undercard?
Yeah.
So I think about 2 or 3 weeks prior to the fight happening, they contacted us and was like, "Hey, Jake not fighting. He not taking this fight against Martin because he don't want to fight real boxers. So he gonna fight he gonna fight somebody that's making money." At the time, I was mad, but like, why? I see where he's not especially at the time he wasn't a real boxer. So I'll fight against somebody that's not bringing in as much money as me fighting against a NBA player that's known by millions of people that's bringing in millions of dollars for me fighting him. So that's this an easy fight. So but now Now we're trying to get that fight, but it's like none. It ain't nothing that we really focused on. But
Right.
yeah, we want to get that fight because it's a money fight. If you giving everybody else that fight and you proving yourself to be a ranked fighter now in my division, why not come and fight me and show everybody that you a true fighter now? You know what I'm saying? Like what Juden fought Tommy Fury, and he actually fought the guy that I got my first loss to. He fought that guy, but I found out he fought that guy the day after I fought that guy. But all through the build up, the thing was this was the guy. Jake Paul's fighting the guy that beat Brandon Martin. So even
Yeah.
in that fight, I feel like after I took a 2-year layoff and had to drop 41 pounds with the 4 weeks, which ain't no excuse. But I feel like it was all set in stone for him to get that win, because I said like it took me about 2 months to watch the fight after we had fought. I was like, oh man, I know I wasn't myself in there,
Right.
which I
Right.
wasn't.
Hard to watch.
When I finally watched the fight was when they announced the Jake Paul fight, and within those times, he was inboxing me on Facebook. Facebook like, hey, can you have him take our fight off of YouTube? This and I said, I don't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have nothing to do with that, but I didn't understand why. And
Right.
then one day I just got a whole bunch of calls and people were like, hey, they mentioned your name on ESPN. So I'm like, all right, really? So they start sending me videos and stuff. And I'm like, oh, so this dude fighting him. So that's why he wanted me to take the fight down, because he
Right.
didn't look good in that fight.
Right. Right.
So, like, yeah, I love to fight him. So I love to fight him. I think it'll be an easy match. It'll
Yeah.
be something easy. Now, will he take that fight? I doubt it.
Yeah.
They turned it down once, so I doubt it, which I don't blame them. But yeah, if they want to take that fight, I'd love to take it, and I'll make it look easy too.
And now something else that's very topical right now. We just saw the New York State Athletic Commission finally make their decision. Where did you stand on Tank and Lamont Roach?
I love Tank, but I've always said I thought he got hit a lot. But
Yeah.
He's the type of fighter that I'm gonna take 3 hits to land this one big shot, which I always work for him. So I think with Lamont having prior knowledge of the way that they fight, the way that he fight, because he's been in the ring with him multiple times as an amateur, that kind of boosts his confidence and put him to the in a position to where, yeah, I know I can beat Tank.
Yeah.
He knew physically that he got the skill set to stay in the ring with it. But now mentally, I'm built up to the point where, yeah, I can beat Tank. Which a lot of people fall victim because they get in the ring. So this knockout orders, the cash cow, we can't beat it. We ain't here for the check.
Right.
He didn't. So I scored that fight 7-5 for Roach.
Yeah, me too.
But it was a couple of rounds to where I said maybe this round could go to Tank.
Couple of swing rounds, definitely. There were.
Yeah, I scored 7-5 for Roach. So, but I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at the draw though. I wasn't mad.
Right. You can live with it. But Butler, where did you stand on the taking the knee in the 9th round?
That's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown. Okay. So you do stand. Okay, so you do stand with most people say it's a knockdown. There are people on there that say that that's the referee's discretion, but there are also people who make the argument that when his corner comes up onto the apron with a towel, that's a disqualification.
That it is. But like think about this. If it was somebody, if Roach would have done it, they would count that as a knockdown.
Yeah.
So they have been showing videos of Roach on his knee, but Roach didn't take a knee. Roach was pushed down to his knee.
Right.
So they don't have nothing to do with nothing. Or if I was in that ring, I guarantee you, if I take a knee for anything for the same reason, they don't count. They don't give me a standing 8 count.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, absolutely. Yeah. You're right about that.
Boxing is all politics.
And now we do still, unfortunately, and I'm passionate about the sport, man, but unfortunately, the biggest black eye on the sport, one of them anyway, is still that we do still see some very bad scoring. We do still see some bad scorecards. Your record is 10-1, 6 knockouts. You know what I mean? So you got a better than average, knockout ratio. When you get in there, I know a lot of fighters, will say, I'm not pressing for the knockout. I can't have that on my mind. I just got to go fight my fight or whatever. But is it ever on your mind, though? Like, shit, my whole future could go to the cards and I could be derailed here, man. I mean, it could really fuck things up for me,
That's on, I think that might be on every fighter's mind.
Yeah.
My thing is, but I'm still like the type of person, like I say, I do it because I love to do it. And then it's like to the point to where, like, I know if I go in there, if I outbox you for 6 or 8 rounds, which I'm fighting now, 6 or 8 rounds, and they decide to give you a decision, me, I can live with that.
Yeah.
I know the crowd will know who win, but I think it's kind of BS that that we got the game is ran by so many politics, because we got fighters out here like we. I got a full-time job. I'm a police officer in St. Louis,
Okay.
Missouri.
Okay.
So I'm working 12, 16 hours a day, almost every day sometimes.
Yeah.
And I still leave work and go run my miles. I leave work and go put work in the gym and sparring and all this type of stuff after working 12, 16 hours.
Yep.
So we're actually, like giving up time with our family and, like killing our bodies. Like it's days where I'm sparring 10 rounds and I barely could walk when I came in the gym.
Sure.
So to just like give us a bad decision just based off of you thinking this person, I mean, you showing favoritism for this person because maybe this person is Mike can put you in a better position as far as being a cash cow in the future or whatever the case may be, or whatever going through their mind when they do it. I think that's BS. It's big
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
BS.
And now, you mentioned that you have like a full-time day job or whatever. Now, obviously, like when you're a police officer, I know because I'm a nurse by day. You know what I mean? Like that's more than just a job. Like that's a career. You know what I mean? That's a career.
Right.
But we just saw Josh Padley step in and fight Shakur Stevenson on short notice. He was an electrician. Suddenly, he's got life-changing money, and now he can focus on being like a boxer full-time. If hypothetically that situation happened to you, do you walk away from the day job?
I don't though. I mean, the money has to be like you can't give me no $1 million and think I'm gonna walk away from my day job, because
And you know what? You're right too,
really
because $1
not no
million
money.
don't mean what it used to be, man.
Yeah,
People think you
it's
can
$1
step
million
away with $1
in
million.
today's
You
day.
can't.
Yeah. And $1 million in today's money is nothing.
Yeah, it's
So
not.
it's like, and then I have a fun job, and my job also supports me with boxing. So like, if it's like I need to go and train or whatever case maybe I can go do that.
Right.
They'll be like, all right, well, go train and come in when you get done, or leave work, go train, come back if you need to. But
Yeah.
like for the most part, I try not to do it because I'm a team. I'm a team guy, so I don't want to leave my squad members out
Sure.
there handling this crazy stuff that we got going on in the streets. But no, I wouldn't quit unless it's like now you talking about 20, 30, 40 million. Now that's
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah. Talk about that. Yeah.
Because
Talk about that turkey a la shake money.
right, you talking about money like that. Now that's something different. But like
Yeah.
$1 million or $2 million, something like that. Nah, I still work, because at the end of the day, people don't understand that in boxing we don't have no retirement in boxing.
The health
We don't
insurance,
have
all
no
that stuff.
retirement check.
Right.
We don't have no 401k.
Yeah.
We don't have
Yeah.
no health insurance and
Right.
all this type of stuff. So yeah, I need all that. I got kids, so family. So
Yep.
we need all that type of stuff.
And now, so have you always campaigned at cruiserweight? And have you ever, if not, have you ever toyed with the idea? I don't know, like what your body frame is like as far as like how comfortable you feel like you can go. But is there a ceiling for you? Is cruiserweight like your ceiling?
I've always been at cruiserweight, but like I've fought plenty of heavyweights.
Yeah.
Throughout my amateur and my pro career. Like I pretty much only spar mostly heavyweights now.
Yeah.
Well, even the whole time I've been boxing, I pretty much spar mostly heavyweights.
Right.
So like I like if you under 175, I do not like to get in the ring with you. So because I know I'm holding back punches, and then you throwing 10 punches because you way faster than me. So
Right.
now in my head mentioning out like, oh, I gotta throw a hard punch just to catch up with him because he just hit me 10 times. So I would like, if you 175 and up, yeah, you cool with me. We can spar. But I think because I walk around maybe since I've been a police officer about 215. So
Yeah.
by the time, and that's without the diet. So by the time I get to diet and like going to full training camp, my body goes down. It's like 195 or so. So like if they ever open up the what was it called?
Bridger weight?
Yeah, if they ever open that up, that'd be perfect for me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that'd
That's
be
right in your
perfect. Like,
wheelhouse. Yeah.
I think my body feels the best when I'm at about 205. When I'm at about 205, I feel perfect. That's like
Right, but then
perfect.
yeah, right, but then 205 like puts you just into heavyweights, but it leaves you as a small heavyweight in an era of really big heavyweights,
So that's why I go on and cut them extra couple of pounds and stay at cruiserweight. So like if something presented itself and it made sense, then yeah, I'll take it definitely, because I got the speed, the strength, and the technical skills to deal with a heavyweight as long as they ain't like, like if they like 230 and under, then yeah, we can get something going. So like if something presented itself and it made sense, we can get something going. But you know what I'm saying? My thing is I'm a true cruiserweight, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty much, as long as I stay in shape, I'm pretty much not gonna be the same size. So being a heavyweight nowadays, heavyweights are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7",
They're huge. I
260
know.
pounds. So
Yeah.
it ain't like back in the day. So it's like that's giving up too much weight.
And now, obviously, I don't want to run through the entire cruiserweight division, but I'm sure you being a cruiserweight, and an active fighter right now, you have knowledge of who's in that division. I just want to get your assessment on the guys that are holding belts right now, how familiar you are with them, and like your assessment of them as fighters. What about Jai Opatai? He's a guy that's obviously really making waves. He seems to have a good push, a good promotional team behind him. He seems to be really being groomed to be the next big thing.
I like him. I actually just got hip on him within maybe the last 5-6 months, and I watched a couple of his fights. I think that I kind of think that I think that he's good.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I don't know. I can't really put him on the scale of how good he is because we haven't seen him against, top level people that's
He's
supposed to be
young.
on the same level as
Yeah.
him. So
Yeah.
it's hard to kind of say because cruiserweight is one of those type of divisions to where like either you fighting a blown up light heavyweight or you fighting a smaller smaller heavyweight.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's word. It's word. Like so you talking about anything from I'm gonna say about 180 on up to about 200 pounds.
Yeah.
That's cruiserweight. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's too much to actually just say like if this person is actually good, is that person actually good? Because we never know actually who we fighting. Like most people couldn't even tell you who the cruiserweight world champion is right now.
I know. I had to look it up myself because it is one of those divisions sometimes
Right.
where it gets lost
So
in the cracks. It does.
it's wide open. It's wide open.
It is. Now, what about a guy like Zerto Ramirez? He's been around a long time, 47-1.
He's good. He's good. I like him. He's good. But then at the same time, with him been around as long as he has been around, I kind of look at him at the point to where like he an OG in the game. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, he's still decent age and he still fights good. He moves good, and I think you put the right person in there with him. Give me five good fights back to back. Put me in there with him. I'm gonna give him a run for his money.
Now the oldest champion holding a belt right now, WBC, and then you talk about OGs in the game, Badu Jack.
Man, you know what? That's one of the fights I like just because Badu Jack is experienced. He comes from 175. He got he was, in friends with Floyd Mayweather. So, I'm pretty sure. Well, I know Floyd used to train him and showed him a whole bunch of moves, and then he a dog. So he's never wanted to go in there and just lay down. So fighting somebody like that, fighting somebody like Badu Jack, like it's kind of like if you can fight him and beat him, you ready for all the top name people.
Yeah, you're right. And I feel like win, lose, or draw, man. If you share a ring with him, though, man, you're gonna come away a better fighter.
Yeah, because he gonna come regardless. He gonna come. He gonna keep on coming. I don't care how hard you hit him, how many times you knock him down, how tired he get. He gonna keep on coming.
Yeah,
and he got a good skill set. So it's like if you in there with, like you said, win, lose, or draw. If you in there with him and you can make it through the fight, or so make it a good fight, make it a close fight, or win the fight. Hey, you ready for anybody up there in the crew?
What about Saudi Arabia, like really becoming big players in the boxing world now? There's a lot of people that are happy. You're seeing Turki Al-Sheikh. He just started a boxing promotion. He's claiming that he wants to keep that same blueprint that he had for that card a couple weeks ago. The best fighting the best, stacked cards, world title fights. It all sounds really great. But then I do see people on social media like saying, I don't know. Do we really want this guy stepping in, Saudi Arabia, taking over our sport, taking over boxing? It's kind of a polarizing topic. Where do you stand on it? Obviously, he's getting guys paid. That's for sure.
I like it. I like it. I can see everybody else's standpoint on it, but I like it. Like my thing is, for one, you bring more money to the sport, you bring more fans to the sport, and you give them because you give them fans fights that we want to see. Everybody want to see the best fight the best. Like if you take it back to the You take it back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s, all the best fought the best. So
Yep.
then we get into the Floyd Mayweather era. That's when everybody's saying, oh, I want to keep my old. I got to keep my old to make Floyd
Yep.
Mayweather money. Which, in that era, that was kind of true.
Yeah.
But then you got to think about it like I tell people I hit a mindset like that, but I always hit a mindset like I'm gonna fight whoever. If they get so just send a name to my coach and my coach say we fight. It don't matter to me. So that's why I send my name to my coach. Because if you told me I was fighting Mike Tyson from the '80s, I'm like okay.
Yeah.
Not thinking about nothing, just having a fighter mentality.
Right.
So it's like go back to what we were saying. It's like you got any other sport, you can take a loss. LeBron James then took hundreds of losses.
Yeah.
From three different teams, but he's still considered one of the greatest, right? So if we take one loss, it's like, oh well, that person ain't as good. We can be 20-0 and take our
I
first loss.
know.
Like,
You're right.
oh well, he's not as good as I thought he was. This, that, the
Right.
other. So the thing is that we're challenging ourselves. So we're gonna run into humps sometimes that we can't climb over.
Right.
So like, like when you're in that point, you might catch me on a bad night. Or
Right.
it might be one of them days like we were talking about earlier. It might be one of them days to where we got judges that don't know boxing.
Right.
We got like we got certain judges that can box the hell out of a amateur fight, but then you go to the pro game, that's totally different scoring. So now
Yep.
it's like, what am I looking at? You throwing body shots? We don't count body shots.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I like it. I like him for the sport. Like the last card he put on was one of the best cards I
Great.
have seen with my whole time watching boxing.
And he kept the price low too. The price was low.
Yeah, exactly.
Boxing fans can't bitch about that. That's what they're always asking for. I was telling people on my channel, look, if you're a diehard, you got to show support. You got to shell out. I mean, $29.95. You got to shell that out. I mean, come on, man. This is what boxing fans want all the time.
Right. Exactly. So, how many times? Are you still there?
Yeah. I just lost your camera. That's all. Yeah. You got to get your camera back up. Is there a button down at the bottom there for your camera? Oh, there you go. Just bounce back in. Yeah. There you go. But one thing that I like though, man, is that you seem to have a very good attitude, like about your own loss though. I mean, because obviously, like you've taken a loss, and you're not looking at it like it's detrimental. You know what I mean? Like 10-1. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys, who might say, "Wow, I've already had a loss, and I'm under 15 fights, or I'm under 20 fights." How did you deal with taking a loss?
You know what? I really, like I said, I came in that fight and I had that was after I was in the police academy and all this other stuff. So I took 2 years off and focusing on my career and all this type of stuff. So I gained a lot of muscle, gained some fat. So I had to lose. You had to lose like 41 pounds in less than 4 weeks.
That's hard.
So but the whole time I was sparring, I felt, because I was laying on the ropes. It was kind of like I was doing a rope dope every time I sparred. And my coach kept on telling me like, "Hey, don't lay on the ropes because all that stuff gonna translate over to the fight." I was like, "No, I don't ever touch the rope. When I fight, I don't never touch the rope. I'm just doing it now because I'm tired from work or this and the other." So when I finally went and fought, I pretty much did the same thing, but still I wasn't taking any hits. I'm throwing body shots. He hit me with one good shot. I'm throwing 3, 4, 5, 6 body shots.
Right.
But it's still like, all right, well, he'll press fight. It was a good fight. It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
So the only thing that did was motivate me to go back and go back to my basics. It get to the point, because when I took my first loss, I was 70-05 knockouts. So it got to the point where you knocking everybody out, you beating everybody. All these fights are easy, and everybody saying, "Oh, you good, you this, you that." You forget the basics.
Sometimes you need a reality check. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I take that as, a reality check. So it's like you got the points where you want to get too flashy, or you saying, "All right, I used to run 5, 6 miles, so now I'm beating everybody. I can run 3, 4 miles, or I can run 2 days a week, or something like that." So now I'm back up to the point to where, all right, you took that loss. I'm not taking any more.
Right.
So for somebody to beat me, they're gonna have to kill me.
Right.
Like I feel like even though, like I say, I feel like I won that fight, I feel like I didn't show up like I normally would.
Yeah.
I could have done 10 times better than what I did. I shouldn't even left it in the judge's hand, or I should have made it to the points where, it wasn't even a close fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like my thing is now is like, hey, I'm gonna go work hard and leave everything in the ring.
And so your last fight was in November, so you haven't fought yet in 2025. I know obviously, you get the full-time career. How active do you have a fight plan for 2025? And if not, how active would you like to be in 2025?
Like, we got a fight planned possibly for May 31st. So
Okay.
it's supposed to be in Louisville, Kentucky,
Okay.
against it's an 8-0 guy from Congo. I can't recall his name. So we've been waiting for his answer back. So it's been about a week now. He haven't answered back yet though. But if not that, they also talking about putting the card in St. Louis in May too. So I'll take that and just want to stay busy. So as long as I have, I'll say the good like 35 fights this year.
Okay.
Hey, I'm cool with that. So hopefully we can get, over 3 to 5 fights. Like I had 3 fights last year. So as long like that, I felt good the whole year. As long as you're constantly fighting, you always gonna feel better and always gonna do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So just give me like I'll be cool with 3 fights. I'm just saying if you give me 3 fights or more,
that's a good number.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And now you've obviously got the career, obviously, but when you think ahead to and I know you still got a lot more fighting left in you to do, but when you come to the point where you do hang up the gloves and you're done competing in the ring, obviously, I said you got the law enforcement career, but do you feel like boxing will always have a place in your life? Like, are you interested after your in-ring career of promoting, training, being involved in the sport at all on any level?
Yeah, I'm all like after I get done with boxing, because like I do a little coaching here and there now. I just don't actually work the corners and stuff. So when I get done boxing, I'm gonna actually be a full-time coach to the point where like the reason I don't work the corners now is because when I train a person for like half of their little training camp, whatever like that, or I just put them into training camp with me, and show them, tell them like this, do that, boom, boom, boom. We work on a lot of things, but once I'm done fighting myself and I'm actually able to put 100% of my effort into training somebody, I'm a trainer. Like I love training kids, training older people. I mean, to me, like I just love boxing. So it's like, rather I am training no matter where I'm at in this world. I'm gonna be training.
Yeah.
So I do want to be a boxing trainer. Might think about doing a little podcast. And like
there you go.
like I got a lot of knowledge on this sport, so it's like why not give it out to the younger people and not just
you got a lot of knowledge, but you got a good personality for it too.
Right.
You do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I ain't biased. You get a lot of people that's on podcasts that's biased.
You do. You absolutely do. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so, in closing here, I really enjoy talking to you, man. For sure, stay in touch, man. I'd love to have you back on again, man. You know what I mean? Like, you are good at this. You're a great guest, man. A great conversationalist. So when you do have an update on the fight, you know what I mean? Where's the best place for people to stay tapped in and find out what's going on with you?
Well, you can always catch me on social media on like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anything. And it's like catch me at Facebook / Brandon the Boss, and that's DA Boss.
Okay. Yeah. Get that part right, folks. The Boss. Yeah.
The Boss, not the boss. The Boss.
Yeah.
So you can catch me on social media, anything that's gonna be / Brandon the Boss Morton.
Okay.
I'm always posting. I post like little fight clips. I never post a full fight. I tell you that because I don't want nobody to be able to study me. So I never post
there you go.
Fight. So I might post clips here and there. And I don't post no spoil, no none of that stuff. I really post anything. You'll see after a fight. Well, before a fight, you'll see like a build up to the fight. Yeah. And then you'll see, like maybe a little clip from the fight. Other than that, I'm not gonna post the whole fight.
Now, before I let you out of here, man, are you where do you stand on, because it is such a big part of the boxing world nowadays? We see guys, constantly bantering and beefing on social media. We see shit jump off at press conferences and at weigh-ins. Do you err on the side of a trash talker or not so much?
Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna talk trash verbally, I would rather do it in the ring.
Yeah.
So, like if I'm gonna get in your head, I'm getting your head in the ring, which I
Yeah.
do just based off of the style I got. So the one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna frustrate you because I'm gonna hit you, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to hit me with nothing clean. So
Yeah.
you don't get frustrated then, and I might do some little showboat stuff here and there. But as far as
Yeah.
all the verbal altercations that they be having, like doing face offs and weigh-ins and all this stuff, nah, I'm more of a let like we coming in the ring, both of us got families to feed. I
Yep.
want to make sure. Of course, I want to make sure so kick your ass. But I
Right.
make sure I don't I don't wish bad on you. So I want to make sure that you go home to your family just like I want to go home to my family. So I'm not gonna disrespect you as long as you're not disrespecting me. And
Yeah.
which like you said, I got a good personality, so I'm kind of cool with I'm kind of cool with like every time I'm fighting somebody, all right, well, we come here to do this, we're gonna be respectful.
It's a job.
Everything with
Yeah.
me, everything is about respect.
Yeah.
Like I'm not all. I don't have to be super big and bad, all in your face, try to get in your head before the fight. I ain't got to do all that. I let my skills talk and do all that before I be in the ring and night of the fight.
Well, let's
So
always remember here, man, that boxing did start out as considered a gentlemanly sport, you know?
it still is.
Yeah. At the end of the
It
day, it
still
should be.
is.
Yeah.
It still is. I mean, it's entertaining too. Entertainment. So it's like that's why I say like I do my entertainment in the ring. I don't
Yeah.
have or I always make sure I'm flashy. If you ever look
Right.
at any of my fights,
Yeah.
I make sure I wear the good shorts and
Yeah.
all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So where you gonna remember me on oh well that was the guy that had on that outfit that was sparkly
Yeah.
and so that's my thing. That's how I do my entertainment. So
Yeah.
I ain't got to disrespect your family or your wife or kids, and I ain't got to take it personal
Keep
for
it
you to remember
respectful.
me. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But listen, man, I really appreciate you doing this. And as soon as you do get news on a fight, so send it my way. I'll share it. I'll share it on the Facebook page, man, for sure. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. I appreciate
having
you
me.
doing it, man. It was great talking to you. Stay in touch and we'll do it. We'll do this again for sure, man.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I'll
Thanks,
definitely be
brother.
back with
Talk
you
to
as
you
soon as
soon,
I get
man.
some news.
All right. Later, my friend.
All right, have a good one.
You too. There he goes, folks. Brandon "Da Boss" Martin, current cruiserweight contender, 10-1, 6 knockouts, a guy that's on the come up and a guy that doesn't look at age as an obstacle. 38 and maybe isn't even in his prime yet. I like that way of thinking. I'm 52. I'm not in my prime yet either, man. I'm only getting better because I'm getting more up here. I think we keyed in on something, me and Brandon, right there, man. People think that physically, your physical state dictates your prime. It is about putting it all together up here, though, too, man. That's a good young man right there, man. With a lot of ability and a lot of insight into the sport, man, and pacing himself and doing it right, man. You know what I mean? Like there's something to be said for doing your career the right way. Doesn't mean it's got to be a rush job. Doesn't mean you got to be on some kind of a timetable that you've created in your mind or that people around you have told you that you need to be on. The fights come, they come. The opportunities come, they come. The title shots, the money, if it comes, man. He's got a healthy outlook on stuff, man. And I appreciate his insights on the cruiserweight division and his fellow champions, in that division, man. And good conversation right there with Brandon "Da Boss" Martin. Stay tapped in. I'll give you news when he's going to fight again. His last fight was November 23rd. He won a unanimous decision, as he said, against Demetrius Banks. And he's, as he said, he's hopefully looking at something coming up in May and would like to fight, multiple times this year. So we will be seeing, I think, plenty of Brandon "Da Boss" Martin here in 2025. Before I get out of here, let me put on my promotional hat. You got to do it, folks. Make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook for updates on when new episodes are dropping and who will be on those episodes and any other pertinent boxing news that's popping off in the fight game, upcoming fights, fight results, predictions, analysis, anything that's hot and topical. I will keep you guys in the loop and share it with you, man. And of course, if you're here on the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tapped in. As you all know, Off the Couch Boxing is the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of boxing podcasts, bar none, man. I will defend the title. I will take on all comers. Not a problem, man. The most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere on the planet, man. Legends, luminaries, champions, and fighters like Brandon that are on the rise. on the come up, man. They all come here to chop it up with your boy, Reckless Rexx. And I want to remind you guys that if you too want to be a champion, then you got to keep it right here with Off the Couch Boxing and roll with the champs. Peace.